Yo, so it's race day. Right now I'm headed to the track. Gonna get something to eat. How would I rate my sleep first? 5 out of 10. So I'm gonna get something to eat before I head to the track. Get something in my body right, because like I said, my sleep wasn't that good. And start from there. The messed up thing about race day is they got this new policy to where you can't get any practice sessions in before control practice. Control practice starts at 10. It's like 6:30 right now. Last season, you were able to get a bunch of practice sessions in before control practice, because control practice, you only get like 10 minutes, right? And that's not enough. And you only get 2 sessions. I guess it's okay because it puts everybody on an equal playing field, but I always feel like the more practice you can get in on track day, the race day, before the real control practice, the better. But it is what it is. So we just gonna head to the track and start from there. All right, so just ran my 2 practice sessions. It felt pretty good. I feel like the cart's dialed in. I got everything the way that I wanted. As far as gearing, I'm not hitting my rev limiter. Going into turn 7 or even in the straight, the home straight, I'm not hitting my rev limiter at the end. But I feel like that's okay because it's a little grippy, but once it becomes more grippy, like there's more grip on the track, I feel like I'm gonna hit the rev limiter. So I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. Only thing I'm gonna be focused on now is just the right tire pressure for qualifying and move on from there. But I really feel like the gearing is perfect for the qualifying, pre-final, and final. But after qualifying, I'll really know where I'm at. There's a lot of people out on the track. When we did qualifying, when we did our practice sessions, there was 2 groups. There was 206 senior and 206 heavy. They put us all out there together, so it was a lot of people. The first session, I didn't really get any like good runs. There was a couple people out there trying to race me on a practice session, and one thing I hate, I don't like, I'm just trying to get my car dialed in, you trying to race me. But I got like 3 good laps on the first session. But the second session, yeah, I got some open track, and I was able to really see how my car's handling and see where it's at. But going into the qualifying, I'm feeling pretty confident. I feel like the way the kart is, I feel like it's going to be good. So until then, oh yeah, I don't know if I've ever showed my kart on here, but here it is. Currently right now, there's like what, 5 races on it. I bought it from Fullerton Motorsports out there in Oklahoma. But yeah, it's running pretty good. No wrecks. I haven't had any problems with it. I did bend the steering column at the TSRS race in practice, unfortunately. But I don't know if I've ever showed my kart on here, but here it is. So the kart had a little bit too much grip for my liking, so I tried some things. One of the things, I'll show you. One of the things I did was take off one of these spacers and push it in a little bit more to take off some grip. I believe the caster, I had it in the front, I just moved it to the back. I didn't mess with the rear because the rear was already as wide as it can go. But I forgot to say, in qualifying, I did qualify 9th. I feel like I could have gotten better. The freaking chain guard got loose. I'm not really sure why, but it got loose. I'm not sure if that was hindering my performance, but I did tighten that. Oh, and then another thing, I rebuilt my clutch. Put new springs and new shoes on there. So hopefully that gives me more engagement and a little bit more power and pickup speed. So yeah, I think I'm all ready for the pre-final, so we'll see how that goes. Already off jump, I get a bad start and I lose about five or 4 places. So I think right now at this point I'm in 12th place. Pay attention to the kart in front of me, number 20. He's going to be somebody that I'm going to battle with throughout the pre-final as well as the final. So you want to stay tuned and pay attention to him. Approaching turn 7, number 20 gets a little loose, so I take the inside line because I took it a little better than him. He's losing ground on the straight going into 8 and 9, so therefore I overtake him through 8 and 9 just to finish it off. Turn 7, number 20 is right on my bumper. I brake a little earlier than him, so he gives me a little love tap. He pushes me wide, so I lose ground to him as well as Colton, or I think it was Colton Underhill. I'm not really too sure what I could have done better in that situation. That was my normal braking point. You know, I guess he was just a little impatient and gave me a love tap. Maybe I could have held the wheel more steadier, but you know, it really doesn't matter because I'm going to go ahead and get my payback on the next lap as well as the next round. So pay attention to that. Right about now, the Underhill twin, he makes his move on number 20. Number 20 dies a little too close to the inside. They get a little loose. I see number 20 falls back as well as Underhill, so therefore I go ahead and make my move. I thought I had 2 overtakes right then and there, but they're still side by side with me going into turn 3 to the chicane. I get pushed a little wide. I try to hold it. I can't hold it. I'm gonna spin out. Luckily, there was nobody behind me, because that would have been a terrible wreck. And I don't have the money right now to buy anything new for my kart, so good thing that nothing broke. I'll go ahead and fast forward it to the end of the race. I just have 1 lap left. I wound up finishing P18. I wasn't too happy about it, but hey, you know, there's always the final. So we'll just see how many places I can make up in the final. I didn't make really too many changes to my kart going into the final. I felt like it was actually running really good and kept up with the pace that I felt like I should be at. The only difference is I did go up a tooth because I wanted to get out of the corners a little faster. Okay, so here we are in the start of the final. One thing I wanted to focus on during the final, I just wanted to give that same energy back to the number 20 kart. It wasn't personal, it's just I feel like I wanted to give that same energy back, as well as make up some of the spots that I lost in the last round. So here we are at the start of the race. I'm starting on the outside. Not really too worried about starting on the outside because I'm in the back. So I can just kind of watch things just unfold in front of me, and they do. A couple people get pushed off in the first turn. Then there's some mayhem up here. Number 20 pushes Richard Fogarty off the track. So I'll go ahead and get past him. And from this point on, I'm going to lock on to number 20 and just ride him because he does have good pace. Right here, number 20 makes a crazy move right there. I could have went for it, but I don't think 76 would have saw me, and I think I would have been off. So I just bided my time and just made my way past 76, coming out of the chicane. Coming out of one, I wanted to make the move right here on number 20. It's like he's like a wild horse. he got the fast pace, but it was just kind of wild right there. So I didn't want to take myself out because, like I said, I'm trying to finish within the top 10. Actually, I did say that before, but that was my whole main like thinking at this point. Like I need to finish in the top 10 because spring hasn't been a good time for me. So I'm just gonna ride number 20 majority of the race, get on this bumper, and then you see me make my move. Just a little. I think it's the next lap or a couple more laps after this. Majority of the race, turns 1, 2, and 3 have been given 20 little problems. So I know that my best bet is to make a move through 2 or 3. So he takes it a little wide, so therefore I shoot to the inside. I cover off the inside of turn 3, and then I'm clear. So just a spoiler alert, from this point on, I don't get passed again. It's kind of boring from this point on. I'm probably going to go ahead and fast forward it to the end. Like I said before, it's pretty boring from this point on. I'm on an island by myself for about 8 laps, so you won't see any action. I have a large gap behind me as well as a large gap in front of me. And the next driver in front of me is Ben Hoyles. I end up finishing P9. After a couple mishaps, I'm pretty happy with P9. Like I said, it could have been better, but you know, it is what it is. The next race is in like 2 weeks. So I'm just gearing up to do better in the summer. And that's the end of the race day. I think I finished 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th. I'm not really too sure. I didn't check the results, but I started in last place. And the pre-final, as you saw, I got bumped off a good amount of times. That won't happen again. But I did kind of wind up getting payback on the guy that was bumping me off in the final. So I kind of redeemed myself for that, you know, for the pre-final. One thing I would like to say is from the last TSRS race here at NTK, I did do better than I did at that race. I didn't make the same mistakes that I made at TSRS. I was way more like calm and collective. I was way more focused. I didn't let the moment get to me. I was tired, but I think that's because we were like the last ones racing, and I was like really tired. But my arms did get tired, but you know, I got through it. So, but overall, I did a lot of things, you know, better than I did at TSRS. My body movement was better. I felt like my cardio was better. Yeah, it felt good. I prepared a lot better. But yeah, it was overall, it was a good race day. Of course, we didn't get the